Anyone who registered will make sure. Thank you. Anyone who, thanks, Micah.
Yeah.
Anybody who registered will make sure that you get the recording. We're going to have a Q&A session. So if you want to hold on to all your questions, you're welcome to. But if something, you're really interested in having an answer right this moment, go ahead and use the chat box. Micah's going to be monitoring that, and she's great at that. I also want to just quickly acknowledge that back to school this fall is not going to be the same for everybody. But that doesn't mean that this webinar is not for you. You can absolutely take these ideas and make them your own. You can get inspired for new ideas or just hold on to whatever you learn until you're ready to use them. And finally, at the end, we'll make sure to do some giveaways. And throughout, we want you guys to interact with us. We're going to ask questions like I did with the summer thing. So if you guys want to share what you're doing this summer, I'm more than happy to look at it later. And you guys can give me ideas of what you're doing. So let's get started. I'm going to give a quick 10-second Osmo overview for those of you who might not be familiar with it. So that's only fair. But to really get to know it, I'll show you where you can go learn more. And then we'll get right into shaking up your station rotations. And this doesn't necessarily mean your traditional, cut and dry, stations where, you have a group of 6 students at this table doing this activity and that table they're doing another activity, etc. You can do STEAM, you can do maker spaces, you can do all kinds of things with station rotations. Then we'll talk about some resources where you can learn more about Osmo and like how to use it. We'll have our Q&A, and then we'll do our giveaways, and I'll go over how you can use the coupon code for attending this webinar. All right, so what is Osmo? We're gonna go real fast. Osmo is a unique combination of computer vision and educational manipulatives that work together to create a digital and physical learning environment. We have these little tiles where you can do cool activities using the iPad as your feedback mechanism, not as the actual interaction. It's pretty cool, and you guys will get a better idea of it as we go throughout this session, this webinar. So I know that was a little more than 10 seconds, but I did my best. All right, so let's shake it up. We're going to talk about some ways you can shake it up in English language arts. So we're going to talk about a writing activity, and we're going to talk about vocabulary activity. And then maybe you guys have some ideas that we could talk about too. And if it's not Osmo related, that's okay. We're all here. We would love to learn more ideas on how we can make student engagement during station rotations increase and be better. All right, character studies. This was something as a student and an educator myself. I used to be a teacher. I loved doing character studies. And before I go further, I don't know if Marnie Diem is on this webinar. I think she registered, but this was an idea she and I talked about a couple months ago. And I just wanted to give her a shout out. Thanks, Marnie. Great idea. I wanted to share it with everybody. Pick a character, have your students pick a character from a novel that you're reading together or from a self-selected reading that they chose, and have them use Masterpiece to draw it. In this particular student's drawing, they chose Teddy from the Magic Treehouse series, I think, by Mary Osborne, I think is what the author's name is. And so here she is using Masterpiece to draw Teddy, and then she colored it in. And then she used Chatterpix Kids app by Duck Duck Moose to make this little thing come to life. And this is how that looks. You can see the little mouth moving. And if there was sound, I actually took the sound off because I wanted to be respectful of the student's privacy, but you can actually hear speaking. And what the student did was shared a part of the story of what was like her favorite. And so she was like kind of narrating what was going on, which I thought was really great. But if you're doing a true character study, you might have the student name, 3 qualities that they liked, 3 qualities they didn't like, a problem that they solved, that type of thing. But yeah, so this was that first idea. Thanks, Marnie, for helping me out with that one. I love it. All right, the next one for ELA is short stories using Osmo Monster. Osmo Monster is a really interactive app, and the wow factor when people play it for the first time is like the best thing ever. So if you haven't had a chance to introduce this to anyone or see it for yourself, I highly encourage you to check it out. So here, what you could do using this monster, Mo, as he goes throughout the game, he is asking you to draw certain things so that he can decorate his house, or he can build a bed so he can take a nap, or he can go on an adventure in a rocket ship. And throughout his journey, he's asking you to draw things that will help him along the way. So if students are playing Mo or Osmo Monster, they could take notes using a writing story organizer, or what other else you have them do when they're building the parts of their short story, and just use what's happening as they're playing with Mo as those, you could come up with the setting, you can come up with the characters, you can come up with the problems and the solutions, and those types of things. And I think Osmo Monster in and of itself is a really great tool, but if you add in this part of short story writing, it's really great. And then this next one is my favorite. Okay, if you want to really shake things up, this is actually better if it's a whole class activity. So maybe it's not really station rotation, but you could still do it in a station. Is you split the kids up into teams, and you put up your vocabulary album, and I'll show you where you can learn how to make your own custom albums for words in a little bit. But so put up your vocab list album, and the kids have to race to see who can complete the word the fastest. So here in this example, the word is moose, right? So A is wrong, but E is right. And you can see they're trying to spell moose there. Okay, so that's our vocabulary word. Once it's spelled, that student runs to the back of the line, the next picture prompt pops up, and that next student has to pick the next one. And whoever's team finishes first wins. I love this one. It's quick, or it can be super long if you want it to be too. And you could do it really, I put vocab here, but you could do it for any type of review thing. If you've got a picture to go with a word, or if you've got multiple choice problems, or if you have like math, things that are getting kind of tricky, this is a great way to get all the kids involved and helping each other in a really engaging way.
Absolutely. Marnie put in the chat that Words is the most versatile Osmo app, second to Masterpiece in her opinion. I would wholeheartedly agree with her.
I would too. Mic drop, Marnie. Thanks so much for chiming in with that. Anybody else have some fun ideas?
Yeah, we would love to know. We've heard a couple fun things to use Osmo and ELA, but we know that the more brains are better. Like I like to say, you never Osmo alone. So let's throw out some more ideas into the chat for us. What are some different ways that you've used Osmo in your ELA time? It doesn't even have to be stations or even Osmo. What are some things we can get kids engaged with during our ELA time? Go ahead and throw it in the chat for us. There may be a swag pack in the deal for our participants. Just saying.
Are we giving away swag, Micah?
We just might be, Kira.
I think we are. We're totally giving away swag.
And
you got to participate, man.
Absolutely. Here comes one from Marnie. Marnie says, Osmo Masterpiece is great for assessing handwriting. Have the kids trace the alphabet or words. Then watch the video to see proper formation. That is so awesome. Yeah.
Let me just quickly make you sick. Let me make you sick again. But like, do you see how in Masterpiece you can actually watch the video, this time-lapse video of what this student is drawing? You could do that as they're, practicing their letter writing or their name writing, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect idea.
That time-lapse video that makes that magic happen for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Marnie. That is a great idea. All right, let's go back.
True and false questions and words, writing short stories. Yeah, Bernadette, I agree. One of the projects I do during the school year is called Awesome Squiggles, and I use it as a step into writing. And so I know a lot of you have done squiggle writing in the past. You can put those lines down, have the kids create the time-lapse video of their creation, and then have them actually write their story to match it. Oftentimes we have kids write their stories and then do the illustrations to match. Try and flip that around for me and see how kids can open up their creative thinking by having their illustrations first.
Absolutely. We should really share your Magic Squiggles project with everybody here. We'll have to do that. We'll send you guys an email.
We're good.
Well, thanks for the great ideas. This was perfect. Mike, I hope you got their names down so that we can talk about swag later.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about math. I'll be honest, I don't say that I hate math anymore because that's not right, but I have always struggled with math. And I love Osmo and math rotations because it makes me have a better relationship with math. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah.
This idea came from an Osmo ambassador named Kimberly McDermott. And when she told me about this idea, I was like, this is so fun. So it's kind of like a relay a little bit, in that you kind of have to think fast. But let me hold up these little numbers tiles again. So you can see how this game works, right? Where you've got these number bubbles at the top, and you have to put out number tiles to come up with a solution to pop those bubbles. Now, as students are working together, because like Micah said earlier, you don't want to Osmo alone. You always want a partner or more than one partner. If that person is putting out the 1 and the 7, on the next bubble, you can't use the 1 or the 7 because those tiles are now lava. So if I was using, let's see, math is hard, 6 or the 0, and then my partner wouldn't be able to use those tiles to come up with their solutions. So it kind of adds this fun extra challenge to math, where you have to be extra creative on how you're going to pop those bubbles. And I loved that. So if you can't use that tile, it's lava. I just thought that was a great idea on how to make a math center a little more engaging. So
and
thanks,
Marty put in there, yeah, we'll call that out too. We talked a little bit about the beginning of how we don't know how fall will look for everyone. COVID sometimes means solo. One thing I love about the edgy pieces is that they're plastic and easily sanitized. So I'm in Kansas. We were actually able to be face-to-face year long with the social distancing, and we call it the foam in, foam out protocol. So by the end, we were not osmoing alone anymore. So we can acknowledge it's gonna look a little bit different in the fall.
Yeah, it might, or you might be ready to just be like, hey, we're getting back to normal. We're not worried anymore. Things are okay. And I feel good about being able to spray these down with some, bleach spray or Clorox spray later to make sure that they're sanitized. But if you're doing it on your own, maybe, a teacher helper or something can come and sit down and remind that student, hey, that tile's lava. You're not supposed to touch it. Or maybe we could get really politically, exciting and say that has COVID on it. You can't touch it. No, don't go there. Please don't.
Imagine those kindergarten babies going home. Well, yeah, we won't go there.
Yeah, definitely don't. The next one is really fun because it's using one of our newer applications, one of our newer sets, and it's called Math Wizard and the Secrets of the Dragons. Ooh. And this one's been really popular in schools with students, mainly because of the artwork. I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, here we go. Mainly because of the artwork in the game. It is so cool to watch and to measure these adorable dragons that have tons of personality. They're all different. They all prefer different things. And you get to learn cool things about measurement. So after you're done playing around of Math Wizard and the Secrets of the Dragons, you can encourage your students to take these little rulers and go around the classroom and measure other things. They could measure each other. They could measure their finger. They could measure their desk. Or like in this picture, these kids are measuring the Scooby-Doo that's in the library. So lots of application there for this particular one, but I really liked that. And then maybe, putting a little insert into that notebook where you're keeping track of your dragons, you could also keep track of your friends, which could be fun. The next one is one-to-one using Osmo Coding Obby. So one-to-one can mean a lot of things when you're talking education. It could mean devices. It could mean correspondence. It could mean, teacher on student. It could mean student on student. But in this situation, we're going with one-to-one correspondence. So with your early math learners, when you're talking about one space equals the number 1, Coding Obby is really great to illustrate that concept. It's kind of hard to tell in this particular video, but Obby moves, this little character, Obby moves in spaces of squares. And when you are building the code for Obby to go in whichever direction, like these blocks illustrate, you can count how many spaces. So right there, he had to go 3 spaces. And you could find the number 3 block and put it next to the walk and know that the student understands that 3 spaces for coding Obby means this number 3. It's really great for kids to watch. And just like with all of Osmo, they hardly even recognize that they're learning a concept. So I think that wraps up the ideas I had for math. It does. So what are your ideas?
I'm going to go ahead and piggyback off the
Okay.
obby one. If you want to kind of step it up a level, one of the activities I do to work on the counting and also communication, because remember, we never Osmo alone. If you stick a file folder in between two kiddos and one kiddo has the coding pieces and the other one has the iPad, the one with the iPad has to describe to the other kiddo how to get Obby to the next strawberry. So maybe Obby's moving up 2 and then he needs to go right 3 times. And so when they think they have a match, they move the file folder and see if he goes to the strawberry correctly. So a good way to work on that communication.
Totally. And it ups the challenge a little bit because you're talking about directions, left, right, up, down,
Absolutely.
that type of thing. So
yep,
that's a great idea,
kindergarten
Micah.
math standards is the left, right, and the up and down.
Yep. Definitely.
But I want to hear from you guys.
Yeah. What are your guys' ideas?
Yeah, I heard some great math things. So what are some ways that you've used Osmo during your math time? Put them in the chat box for us. And there's still the opportunity for some swag earning here.
Swag is happening.
Good ideas in there. Absolutely. Oh yeah, multiple.
I need more math ideas. Remember, math's not very fun for me. I need it.
Marnie for the win again.
Marnie.
Yeah, and mentioned this earlier, Kira, too, is you can make your own Osmo word albums. And you don't think words and math together, but the way that you can make your own art and pictures and things like that, you can make the answers math related. So yeah. And oh yeah, duh, Marnie, pizza. It's also great for math. That's
Pizzico.
Very, very favorite.
I didn't even think to put an activity in there, which is crazy because Pizzico is like my favorite one besides words.
It is. Shape identification. That's awesome, Erin. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, with tangrams.
Number words with words. Grandfather Tang's book. Yep, for the tangrams. Marnie said that pizza's the one that even her 7th graders still argue over who gets to play. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm totally taking that back to the Pizzico team, Marnie. They're gonna crack up when they hear that.
Alexa said the new Osmo Teacher's Guide has lots of different ideas as well.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Wow, look
I'm loving this participation. And Marnie, you're on fire. Wait, what, Micah?
These are great ideas.
Oh, I can't wait to read through them.
Attraction with pizza. Yeah, we're going to keep a list of these for sure.
I'm going to move on to the next part, I think.
Yes.
Am I?
You are.
Yes, I am. We're going to talk about resources. So now we've talked about some cool ways that you can use Osmo in your classroom. We've talked a little bit. I think we've barely scratched the surface about what Osmo actually is. But let's go into like Osmo for Schools, right? So we have Osmo, but then we also have Osmo for Schools. In 2016, we recognized that, teachers use Osmo in a way that is different from the way parents might use it. Not all the time. It's not different all the time, but we definitely as educators have our own needs in a classroom that are different from in a home. And so we built out this division called Osmo for Schools. And that's when we came out with plastic pieces. That's when we started developing a teacher's guide. That's when we started developing, bundles so that, you're not fighting. You don't have 36 kids fighting over 2 Genius kits, right? So we put these bundles together so that you can serve all of your students. And we've also come out with some pretty, cost-friendly things, especially if you get your administrators involved. So I really encourage you, if you're thinking about getting Osmo for your classroom, and even if you already have it, I would definitely recommend checking out Osmo for Schools. Not just to see what products we have available, but to check out what other educators are saying, what they're doing. You can talk to a rep. If you need more ideas about how to implement what you already have, they'd be more than happy to talk with you. Like I said, we've got the training and support, we have the teacher's guide, and then what became really important this last year was the plastic pieces. These plastic pieces that are only available at Osmo for Schools. You can't get them at Amazon, you can't get them at Target, you can't even get them at playosmo.com, you guys. But you can throw them in the dishwasher. You can put them in like one of those nets, like those laundry nets, put them in your sink with a little bit of cap full of bleach, let them sit overnight, and then pull them out to dry them off the next day. You can't do that with the other pieces. So yeah, those are the resources for Osmo for Schools. Definitely recommend checking out schools.playosmo.com.
Got a couple questions here for just a second. Chris wants to know if the cardboard temp Osmo is still available for admin to try out.
It is actually. We actually do still have those. Go ahead and go to the consultants page, like what you see right here, and find your rep that way by clicking on your state, and then reach out to them. They would be more than happy to hook you up with a sampler. Absolutely. And that's what it's called, by the way. It's called the Osmo Sampler Kit.
Would you also recommend getting in touch with a consultant if they perhaps got their sets prior to Osmo for Schools, wondering about like a trade-in kind of program to get plastic tiles?
Yeah, I would say I don't know what you're going to hear back, but definitely get in touch with them for sure. Or if you're not comfortable, because I know not everyone's like, I mean, Osmo rep that just screams like salesperson, right? So if you're not comfortable talking with them, you should be. I work with them every day. They're amazing and they're absolutely not pushy. I wouldn't work with them if they were. But if you're feeling uncomfortable reaching out to a rep, we also have a customer service email address just for educators. It's just schools@playosmo.com. And I'll talk about that later too. Any other questions for this slide, Micah?
I think we're good for now.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. So you can go to YouTube and watch video tutorials on all of the game apps. And if you're like me, a visual learner, I really like to see someone else doing it before I even try it myself. And then after I see it, I'm a little more comfortable trying it.
We also have I love how short they are, and they're great for kids to watch too. So
I didn't even think about that.
They're less than 2 minutes, and so
they're less than 2 minutes.
Pause it like in between she's not touching the iPad, and she's sliding the tile. So it's a great intro, especially for kids who haven't used Osmo before.
Yeah, when they're used to touching the screen, right? They want to tap, they want to scroll. You don't do that with Osmo. You're doing everything in front of the iPad instead. Game manuals are sometimes really helpful. Like if you have a question and you're like, I wonder if there's something like this, you can find the section here of what it is. And these ones are in depth. So like if you're looking for some reading to do at the beach this summer, maybe these would be fun. Probably not, but if you want to, hey, go for it. They're not as user friendly as the video tutorials for sure. They get really nitty gritty. So if that's what you're into, go for it. And we talked already a little bit about the Osmo EDU representatives. Like I said, they are awesome. They don't push you. They're super honest. If you have a concern about something, but you're worried that they're going to try and sell you something else, I don't want you to worry about that. They will be super honest with you. And I've always appreciated working with them because I've been annoyed and I've been burned a couple times by feeling manipulated into something I maybe would have not done had a sales rep not got involved. But these guys aren't like that. I highly encourage you to reach out, even if it's just to say hi, because they're like you and me. They love it when people just email just to say hi. I mean, who doesn't love getting an email that's like, hey, how you doing? Just thought I'd say hi. Like, no action required on your part. In fact, if you want to delete, go ahead. I just wanted to like say hello. So that could be fun. And then finally, we have a huge Osmo educator community. We've got a Facebook group. We have Twitter chats on a monthly basis. And then we have this special program for people who are already using Osmo. They're super passionate about it. And most of them know more about it than I do, which is really saying something. And we call them the ambassadors. Osmo ambassadors are, like I said, educators who love using Osmo with their students, and they want all educators to know about it. And if you're interested in learning more about that program, you can go to the schools.playosmo.com website, and there's a little link for it there. I wanted to throw in a little bit about, we're like right on time. I wanted to throw in a little bit. This is the slide that we started on because I wanted you guys to see it for a little bit, but we are doing a mini grants program this year. It's the first time Osmo for Schools and even Osmo as a company has ever done anything like this before. And we're really excited about it. We are giving away 20 mini grants. We're calling them mini grants worth of $2,000 worth of products. Just for Osmo for Schools. The application is coming out soon. And if you want to be one of the first people to like get the application in your inbox, go ahead and go to this website. It's schools.playosmo.com/grants. And you'll learn all about that. And I have been privileged enough to be on like the panel or the team that's coming up with this. And I'm really excited about this offering, and I hope it's something we get to do every summer. So check it out. I know the application time frame is July 1st through July 17th. So it's plenty of time, and I helped come up with the application. It's not hard. I kept, stressing to the people that are like in charge. I kept stressing, like, this year has been hard enough for these teachers. If they want something, we should make it as easy as possible to get it. So hopefully, maybe I'm sticking my foot in my mouth, but I feel like it's pretty easy. Maybe you guys are going to sit down and be like, actually, that was really annoying, and I never want to do something like that again. Hashtag not worth it. But hopefully not. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. Okay. Let's talk about the code. It's not as, like no-brainer as you would think. You first have to go to schools.playosmo.com, and then you have to click on the get a quote button, and then you have to fill out the information. And then you enter the code in that section that says, please share with your Osmo education representative what it is they can help you with today. So go ahead and take notes. The coupon code is just webinar 15. You get 15% off an order. It's great, it's fun, but that's the only way that you can get it. And if you have questions about that, or if you forget, you can go back and look at this recording, or you can send an email to schools@playosmo.com, or you can reach out to me. All right, Q&A, we have like 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Should we just go straight to the giveaway? And if you guys have questions, we'll answer them later, or you can send them in to an email myself. You can tweet them. I'd love to see them on Twitter or the Facebook group. What do you think, Micah?
I think that sounds good. We got 2 quick ones really quick.
Okay.
I mentioned the application's not up yet, and you're correct. So if you go to that website, there is a place for you to put your email address in to get alerts when it does come up. And then Lindsay King, yes, there is a Facebook group just for ambassadors. Kira, what's our best way to get plugged in with that?
You can send your email address that's associated with your Facebook account, because it's invite only. You can send that email address to either myself, which is Kira@tangibleplay.com, or you can send it to schools@playosmo.com and say, hey, I'm an Osmo ambassador. I want to join the Facebook group. Please invite me. Here's my Facebook email address. And voila. If you're already an ambassador, we'll let you in. If not, I'll send you the application and encourage you to fill it out. And when you get onboarded, be happy to welcome you into that group.
Yep. Shall we get to some giveaways?
Yes. Hurry.
Woohoo!
Because we're running over, but that's okay. We're having fun. Yes. It's barely 6:30.
We're good.
My time.
Okay, so what would you like to give away, Kira? What's up?
First, let's do one of the swag packs for the participation people.
Okay, we talked about people who gave an idea get a swag pack. So I have those names. We talked about this little thing.
Ooh, teacher's guide.
We talked.
Do you guys remember me mentioning that?
And someone had
this thing is like, how many pages is that, Micah? Is it something like 400 pages?
394.
Okay, 394 pages worth of Osmo ideas. And these Osmo ideas were created by educators who already use Osmo in the classroom. Like, they know what's up. Micah was one of them. So who's gonna get an Osmo teacher's guide?
Okay, so I'm gonna do my little spinny thing. We're gonna do 4 names. First,
drum roll.
I have Jay Talley.
Jay Talley, are you here?
You have to be present to win.
You have to be present to win. You better chat. Hurry, quick, chat.
All right. Then we're going to spin again. We got some more. Oh, Marnie, this is you. Marnie, this is you.
You earned it, girl. Marnie wins. Congrats.
Right. You still rolling here?
Okay. Oh, good. Jay Talley was here. So Jay gets one. Marnie gets one. Who else?
What about Regina?
Regina,
I'm going to mess this up. Nadalini.
Are you here, Regina? She is. She's here. Congrats. Okay, let's give away one more. One more teacher's guide.
One more teacher's guide. Let's roll here. Aaron B.
Aaron Bangle?
Yes.
Yes, Aaron, you get one. Woohoo! Congrats, everybody. That's super exciting. Okay, let's do a Genius Starter Kit. So an Osmo for Schools Genius Starter Kit comes with the plastic pieces for words, numbers, and tangrams. It comes with a teacher's guide. and it comes with a base. Okay. So we're going to give away 2 of these. So let's do 2 of these. The first one is going to be.
Okay, I'm going to spin here. Krista Miller.
Krista Miller, are you here? You have to be here to win.
Present, have to be present.
Chime in, Krista. The chat box, it should be there at the bottom if you know what you're doing. OMG, she's here. She wins. Yay, Krista. Okay, one more.
One more?
Oh yeah, Chris Cooper. Sorry, dude. It's true. Krista, that is a T.
Sorry, Chris.
Sorry, Chris. Shout out. Maybe the next time. Ready? Here we go. Oh, Crystal Gamble. Okay, here's the second one. Ready?
Spin. Grace Yamato.
Grace Yamato.
Grace?
You gotta be here to win, Grace. She's here. Woo!
Yeah.
Congrats, Grace and Krista. That's exciting. Okay, should we do a couple of swag packs? Do we have a couple more minutes? If you have to get off, I get it. But if you're not here, you're not gonna win. So let's do this fast.
Okay, ready?
So swag pack is gonna be like stickers, a t-shirt, a notebook, a tote, that sort of things. How many should we do, Micah? We got some good participation.
What do you think? Like, what do you got?
Let's do 5.
Ooh, okay, it's spinning already. I'm gonna do 5.
Okay.
First one, Shelby Ingram.
Shelby Ingram, you want a swag pack? You gotta say so. Ready? Yeah, she's here. She's getting a swag pack. What? You're welcome, Shelby. So glad you're here.
Here we go.
Okay.
Lindsay King.
Lindsay King?
I saw her on here. Lindsay, are you still here?
Lindsay, are you still here? Because she was here. Maybe we should give. Oh, she is still here. Thanks for hanging in with us, Lindsay. For hanging in with us, you get a swag pack.
Spin.
Oh, I'm so excited. I couldn't type.
Julie Null.
Who?
Julie Null. Are you here?
Julie Null.
Are you here?
Come on, Julie. Come on. You want a swag pack? You gotta. Yay, she's here. Congrats, Julie.
Lottery. The Osmo.
Yeah. I feel like we are too. Wait, how many are we at, Micah? How many do we have left?
We have 2 more to go.
Okay, here we go. Julie got one. Woo! You're welcome, Julie. Thank you for coming and for participating. Who's next? Who's our next winner?
Stacy Benton.
Stacy. Oh, she's actually on my Zoom participant. I can see her right there. So I know Stacy's here.
Okay.
Stacy. Congrats, Stacy.
One more. There's Chris Cooper. Chris.
He got one.
Chris, you want to
getting a swag pack. Chris Cooper in Canada is getting a swag pack. Woohoo, guys.
Oh,
I'm so happy he got one. Oh, Krista Gamble, I'll have to catch you on the flip side because I know you got really excited too. Okay, cool. I'm actually going to reach out to you winners using your email address that you registered with registered to this webinar for. I can't talk because I'm so excited about all these winners. I'm super happy. And then I'll get your email, excuse me, I'll get your shipping addresses so we can get you your prizes. Thanks again, everybody. I had so much fun. I'm really glad I got to spend a summer evening with you guys. And I hope we get to do it again. This was fun. Yeah. Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.